Never made a call to Diddy, really? Yeah. I got Diddy's number, just hit him up. Yo, Diddy, what up? Never happened.
I knew Eminem was real. He's like, I don't give a man.
Diddy had his hands in everything. Politicians, billionaires, rap legends, global superstars. His reach was deep. Even 50 Cent used to roll with him before the whole thing flipped and they turned into full-blown enemies. But out of everyone in the music game, there was one rapper who never got close to Diddy. One man who kept his distance from the jump, no matter how big Diddy got. That man Eminem. And when M spit that brutal line in Fuel, that wasn't just random. That was years of quiet tension boiling over. By the time that bar hit the world, M had already been tossing shade and shots Diddy's way for a long time. See, when Eminem was still hustling for his big break, Diddy had already built himself into a hip-hop kingpin. Yes, Bad Boy Records was the spot every up-and-coming rapper dreamed about. The flash, the fame, the power, it was all there. But M, he wanted none of it. He swerved that whole bad boy wave and chased his own vision. He linked up with Aftermath and Dr. Dre. And together they rewrote the rules. But here's where it gets wild. Even back in 1996, when M was still barely known, he threw a quiet shot at Puff on the track. It was slick. But if you listen close, that line wasn't accidental. That was young M already sending a message. He wasn't scared of anybody, not even the top dogs. And it didn't stop with Diddy. Eminem had beef with another heavyweight in the game, Suge Knight. This dude wasn't just feared. He was treated like the boogeyman of hip-hop.
Got so many essays. Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a beat. Boy on the case, covered your face, came in the place, blowed and sprayed Puffy with me.
Suji didn't just run Death Row Records. He ran it like a war zone. We're talking intimidation, real-life violence and stories that still shake people to this day. He had Tupac, Snoop, Dre all under his roof at one point. But M, he never folded.
They was not scared of Suge Knight. They was terrified.
When Sug rolled up unannounced with a gang of Mexican street dudes at the shoot for 50 Cent's In Dot Club video, most people would have dipped. Not Eminem. He stepped right outside face to face with So and his crew. No backup.
Outside. Suge's outside. Everybody like, he was running, dropped.
That move said it all. M wasn't here to play by the industry's rules. He wasn't bowing to anybody. Not Puff, not Suge, not a single so-called boss. After that bold move with Suge, Eminem wasn't finished. He actually went into the studio and recorded a diss track aimed directly at Suge Knight.
Suge came, he had some Mexican niggas. Now, we from New York. You ain't never seen a nigga with a tattoo on his forehead. 118th Street crew. I'm like, what the fuck?
But that record never saw the light of day. Why? Dr. Dre shut it down. Dre told him straight up, this ain't your beef. And out of respect for his mentor, M shelved the whole thing. But here's the twist. That track eventually leaked years later. And when fans heard it, it was brutal. M didn't pull punches. He called Suga out by name, mocked him, and left nothing sacred. So let's think about that for a second.
I knew Eminem was real. He's like, I don't give a man.
If M had the guts to call out Suge Knight, a man known for real-life violence, intimidation tactics, and ties to serious street drama, then what would make him scared of Diddy? Sug was feared across both coasts. People avoided saying his name, let alone dissing him. But Eminem, he walks straight into the fire. And that's why this Diddy tension hits different now. Because the deeper you look at Diddy's past, the parties, the lawsuits, the strange connections, the question starts to shift. Who was really more dangerous? Suge with the street muscle or Puff with the power, the money, and the secrets?
50 niggas outside, what's up? And then the nigga Suge just walked away. The Mexican niggas looked kind of confused, like they didn't know what's going on.
But let's get back to Eminem. The Diddy shots didn't stop with a leaked track or throwaway bars. On his 2000 album, the Marshall Mathers LP, M kept the jabs coming. One line was more subtle, But then came the shock value punch. The one where he name-dropped Jennifer Lopez, Diddy's girlfriend at the time, and painted a dark graphic scenario about what he'd do to her.
Responsible for the deaths of the two greatest rappers to ever grace the face of this planet. You love me, that y'all expect so much of me. You little groupie bitch, get off me, go.
That line wasn't just edgy. It was disrespectful. It blurred the line between rap beef and real-world violation. And Diddy, he stayed silent.
Talk some hip-hop shit, man. I want to talk to Puff right now.
Yes.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist.
No retaliation, no disc record, no public clapback. But anyone watching closely could tell he didn't think it was funny. Not even close. Despite all that, there was never an official war between Eminem and Diddy in the early 2000s. They stayed in their own worlds. M was out here dropping multi-platinum culture-shifting albums, tearing through the charts with Dre behind him. Meanwhile, Diddy was expanding his empire, juggling music, fashion, and TV, and switching names like outfits from Puff Daddy to P. Diddy. They rarely shared the same space except for the occasional award show or industry event.
The winner is Eminem, the Eminem Show. Yes, sir.
But even then, you could feel the tension in the air. One moment that really stood out, the 2003 Grammy Awards, when Diddy actually presented Eminem with the Best Rap Album award. You'd think it'd be a big feel-good moment, but now it was awkward. The body language was stiff, the smiles looked forced, and for a second it felt like two empires were pretending to play nice. The respect was there, but the energy off. Still, to be fair, Diddy never downplayed M's skills. In a Rolling Stone interview that same year, he actually spoke on Eminem with genuine praise. He said Marshall was one of the greatest MCs ever. Of course, he made sure to remind folks that Biggie and Pac were a different caliber. But still, he gave Eminem his props.
I told you you can't trust these niggas. Now Puffy done killed Tupac, man.
So yeah, Diddy gave Eminem his respect but never his trust. And M returned the favor with bars. Even with all the distance between them, Eminem and Diddy's worlds kept bumping into each other, whether they liked it or not. Through mutual ties and big industry moves, their stories would cross paths from time to time. Back in the early 2000s, Diddy had his eye on a rising star out of Queens, 50 Cent. At the time, 50 was the hottest unsigned name on the streets. But Diddy passed on signing him. Why? Because of 50's beef with Ja Rule, who had deep street connections and a real-life war going on. Diddy didn't want any smoke with that situation, so he backed off. But that choice changed hip-hop history, because just like that, Eminem and Dr. Dre swooped in and the rest is legendary. They signed 50 to Shady Aftermath, dropped Get Rich or Die Trying, and turned him into a global force. Tens of millions of records sold. Multiple #1 hits, movie deals, gun it domination. Diddy fumbled a gold mine, and M turned that loss into a legacy. And then for a while it all went quiet. No jabs, no headlines. Just two giants building their empires on opposite sides of the industry until 2015. That's when the game changed again. A documentary titled Murder Rap, Inside the Biggie and Tupac Murders, dropped, and it hit hard. In it, retired LAPD detective Greg Kading laid it all out, claiming Diddy paid $1 million to have Tupac killed, and that one of the shooters was Keith D., a name that's been resurfacing again in recent headlines. The moment that hit the internet, 50 Cent went wild. He posted immediately backing the claim and saying what many had whispered for years, that Diddy had blood on his hands. And guess who else chimed in? Eminem. In 2018, during his beef with Machine Gun Kelly, M dropped one of the most controversial diss tracks of the decade, Killshot. In the final line of that track he says, "The day you put out a hits, the day Diddy admits he put the hit out that got Pat killed." The internet went crazy. Fans didn't know whether to scream, cancel him, or call it genius. Was he trolling? Was it coded truth? Or was Eminem just saying what others were too scared to speak out loud? Whatever it was, it hit a nerve. Joe Budden on his podcast revealed that Diddy was furious when he heard that line. And unlike the past where Diddy could just ignore M's slick shots, this one cut too deep. For Puff, the Tupac situation is sacred territory. He spent decades denying involvement, ducking interviews, and shutting down conversations about it. And then here comes M tossing it into a diss track like it's nothing. That shook the room. Later, when Eminem was asked about the MGK beef in an interview, he threw even more distance between him and Diddy, saying they don't talk, don't have each other's numbers, and basically live in two different worlds. So, you'd think after that they keep far away from each other, right? Well, because in 2020, Eminem dropped music to be murdered by. And on the hit track Godzilla, he once again mentioned Diddy. Brief, but enough to remind people that the tension's still there. These two might never throw hands, but the Cold War between them, it never really ended. That so-called peace gone by 2020. In June, an unreleased Eminem verse leaked online recorded a year earlier for Conway the Machine Bang remix. And in it, M straight up dissed Diddy's Revolt TV, calling them out directly. It blew up fast, but within hours, Eminem apologized on Twitter. He said the verse was recorded in a heated moment and wasn't meant to drop. He also added he respected Revolt. Still, it showed the tension between him and Diddy had never really faded. But then came 2023 and everything exploded. Multiple women came forward accusing Diddy of abuse and assault. The most serious case came from Cassie, his ex-girlfriend, who described years of beatings, control, and dark behavior behind the scenes. Then Keith D was arrested after running his mouth online, talking about his connection to Tupac's murder and claiming Diddy offered him $1 million to get it done. He even gave details about Pac's final moments that shocked everyone. Right in the middle of all this, Eminem released his album, The Death of Slim Shady, and went harder than ever at Diddy. On Bad One, he clowns the infamous Diddy parties. In Antichrist, he references the disturbing video of Diddy allegedly assaulting Cassie. But the most savage lines, they came in the track Fuel, where Eminem torches the whole image Diddy tried to protect. And just when people thought he was done, he kept swinging. What really takes things over the edge is the remix of Fuel, where Eminem doubles down on the darkest part of it all. He brings up Diddy's alleged involvement in both Tupac and Big E's murders, saying Big E's death wasn't random. It was just the next domino after Pat got hit. That line sent shockwaves. M wasn't hinting anymore. He was connecting dots. At this point there's no pretending. After everything M dropped on this album, it's clear they are not friends. There's no hidden respect, no behind-the-scenes truth. Eminem stands with 50 Cent, and that means he'll never be aligned with Diddy. And Diddy, he's not laughing either. After 50's explosive documentary aired, Diddy reportedly sent him funeral flowers, a move that felt more like a warning than a gesture. So yeah, there's a good chance he's also holding serious heat toward Eminem. This whole saga proves one thing loud and clear. Eminem has never been scared of anyone. Not Suge Knight, not Diddy, not anyone in the industry. He'll say what others won't, and he'll say it in front of the whole world. If you want to dive deeper into this mess, check out the next video on why Diddy is accused of